All right, some of you may be wondering why is a park cop here, and I'm going to explain that to you shortly because we're a little bit under the radar sometimes. So, excuse my voice, I'm starting to lose it. A little too much partying here in Israel, and it's been a great time. I got to be honest with you. What a great country! I can't wait to come back. New York State Parks has approximately 71 million visitors to their state parks throughout the state of New York. The little piece that I handle and I'm in command of is the New York metropolitan area, which includes New York City and Long Island. Approximately 32 million visitors to our state parks on Long Island and New York City. That's a lot of people to protect. We also have the largest mass gathering events outside of New York City are within New York State parks on Long Island. A lot of responsibility, which puts me in the counter-terrorism role up to my chin. I want one thing to get clear by the time I get off this microphone is for you to understand the changes that we've made in the West, and especially in the New York metropolitan area, and how we've gained and how much best practices have come into effect since 9/11. I'm an operational guy. That's what I'm going to talk about. I'm on the boots. I'm boots on the ground kind of guy. So that's what I'm going to try to get. I'm going to delve into and what we do and what we've done and what we've changed. And you're going to see through the eyes of a department outside of the NYPD that works in that same area, and which is the greatest police department in the world. Hats off to the NYPD always. So, like a lot of my brothers and sisters here in this room, I was also a 9/11 responder. I was there. I responded that day. I remained there for 72 days. It was a tough time, and I'm sure a lot of you have responded to your own terrorist actions. I did promise myself once I could reflect on what just occurred after 72 days, if I ever got in a position where I could actually make policy and procedure to help something like that from ever happening again, I would take everything within my soul to do that. And I rose to the position I'm in. So now I get to make some changes and remember what I went through and everybody else did during 9/11. So, with that said, also the economic impact on the state of New York when it comes to New York State parks is about $4.5 billion. State parks stimulates the New York State economy. I can tell you, before 9/11, being a police officer, there was not a lot of cooperation. As you heard Dennis say earlier, there are a lot of police departments in the state of New York, especially in the metropolitan area. A lot of us did not speak to each other. We did not share information. There was a lot of egos. You know, who's better? Hey, I know this. I got mine. You got yours. I can tell you since 9/11 that has changed drastically, especially on the operational level. We all talk to each other. We all share information. We all work together. Just in the line of communications, which is direct communications on a daily basis with other police departments, we all had one. We just talked to our own. I can tell you today, for my department, I can talk to every single police department in my jurisdiction just by switching a dial, and we could all speak to each other. So the level of cooperation has increased dramatically since 9/11 when I was a police officer up until the time that I raised up as a commando, which is a definite benefit and what? A great tool for counterterrorism. We are not a giant police department as compared to the NYPD. We need assistance from partners, from partner agencies. So I check my ego every day when I go to work. I do not turn around and say, I'm the best police officer. I am the best police department. This is ours. We're going to do this. No. I reach out to my partners, whether it be the NYPD, or whether it be a local village police department, whether it be a county police department. If they can assist me in doing my job to fight counterterrorism, guess what? Egos in the pocket. Let's go, boys. We're all brothers and sisters here. We're fighting the same fight. So that's what's changed so much since 9/11, and I've witnessed it and I've seen it on the ground. I see it on a daily basis. So when we talk about radical Islam, we're talking about active shooters, white supremacy. We all are partnered up in the United States, especially in the New York metropolitan area, like never ever before. And it's been absolutely working, as you can see. We've had very, very few incidents here and there, mostly what we call lone wolf, but we've had very, very few incidents going on in the major metropolitan area of New York State and in New York City because of the level of cooperation between the law enforcement agencies, and that be from the federal all the way down to the state and local. Um, with that said, with best practices, one thing my agency has learned, and we've learned from all of you, especially coming from Israel, I did get the honor to tour the National Academy this week, which was very impressive. Thank you, Ash, for that, by the way. It is absolutely one of the most professional police departments in the world, probably second to the NYPD. So, sorry, I got to go with the home. I got to go with the home team. So, so some of those things that we did as a small department is we got into right away. We got into what? We got into the canine explosive detection dogs. So we went out. The governor and the state gave us a lot of money to buy these dogs because of the large scale events that we have. We also went out. We got into the radiological detection business. We got into a tactical team which we'd never had before to help police our large scale events. And not having to depend on a police department that might be a couple miles away. So we have a fast reactionary force. We got deep into what we call incident command system. If people not from the United States are aware of it, under the National Incident Management System. So all our large scale events now are planned out through the Incident Action Plan. And I do this on a daily basis, which takes up pretty much most of my time. In the state park system where I work, I have not only the responsibility for daily patrol and crime, which seems to be taking a back seat, which I wish I had more time about traditional policing and the counterterrorism role, which is actually affecting traditional policing in a big way. So thank God crime is down because a lot of our time and effort is spent on counterterrorism. I can tell you within the last 4 months, other than actual police patrol, we have handled and put together 115 separate police details to handle events such as marathons, such as music concerts, walkathons, and those kind of things all require a separate police detail. And before that, what comes with that is intel. We receive so much intel now in the United States as a police officer, it's almost information overload. It comes from everywhere. Everybody is willing to share. I start my day, turn on my computer. I spend my first hour and a half just reading intel. That's how much we are getting. And that's how much cooperation is out there because everybody gets it. We all get it now in the United States. It was a hard lesson learned. We always thought it was someplace else. These kind of things happened after 9/11. Our worlds have changed drastically. So, as you can see and as you can tell. I'm sorry if I'm joining on. I apologize because I forgot my presentation. So I promise you I plan a lot better for my events in the United States than I did here. But it was kind of hectic trying to get here, and I got here at the last second. So I'm sorry, am I out of time? I am. I'm sorry. I apologize. Thank you.